Okay. We have our dazzling Easter desserts tonight, and you're here. And so you want to dazzle somebody, don't you? Well, wait till you taste some of these things. It's great. What happened to the lady that came? She left?
She had company. She said she couldn't.
Yeah, she said she had to go. She just came to get a recipe because she had company and she had to get back to him.
My feelings are hurt. I thought she came because she thought it was going to be so fabulous.
Well, she did, because she wanted the recipe.
But she didn't get to taste it. Oh, I had another daughter call me today and said, Mom, would you please email me the recipe? I cannot believe such an easy recipe is such a big deal. I mean, and when you taste it tonight, you'll know why. And probably you've had it over time if you're a little bit older. Some of you young guys, no. Okay, let's see. We have Easter dinner and beyond next Wednesday night. And we're giving away a Martha Stewart ham. Kids can cook on Saturday, the 11th. Save big bucks with the Savvy Shopper on the 14th. No electricity, no problem on the 15th. That's part 2. Wednesday, April 22nd is breakfast and brunch with Blue Chip Foods. You all want to come to that because that will be an incredible class learning how to use the products downstairs so they taste decent now that you open them, you know. And you will be using them. We're just a matter of time. Spring into main dish. You didn't get that, did you?
I'm not recording.
Oh, okay. I'm waiting. Okay, and then Thursday, April 23rd is spring into main dish salads with Jennifer Harmon, and that's her specialty. They'll be fabulous. We have spring fairy parties. If you want to come, Mary, if you want to come to our spring fairy party, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
If you have grandchildren or little children, this is the thing to come to. Do you have any kids back there? Oh, okay. Maybe you're not even married. Yes?
I thought I'd come that Saturday just to see the fairy lady. Yeah.
Do you know, I have had a number of people from the temple come just to see me in my costume. You should see my assistant fairy in her costume. If you think I'm good, you ought to see the assistant fairy. Yes, she's going to be here. Oh, and she wears the whole regalia. She's fabulous. And then we have KB, What You Ready to Learn on the 30th. I want to introduce Lorna, whatever your name is, Lorna Christensen, who has become, over time, my trusty assistant the nights I do this. And so there you are. Any questions? Here, let's pass this around. And there is a pen in here, and if you haven't signed up, do. We'd love to have you come. And you all got dazzling desserts. And I went to a lot of work today, so I want you to know you folks are getting a grand deal. So, yes. Oh, is that thing on? I don't put that on. When they come upstairs, then that's what happens. Okay, I'm trying to think what I'm going to start with first. I have been cooking all day. My granddaughters came home from school, looked at my kitchen and said, Nan, they don't call me Grandma because I can't be Grandma. No, I'm Nan. Okay. My grandmother was Nana, I'm Nan. What are all these cakes for? Because I had cakes all over the place. So anyway, we need to get the whipping cream finished whipped because we're using it in several recipes. But you do have, I'm sorry they're not in color, but I'm trying to do several things at once. So I'm trying to think which ones we're going to do first. Let me see if this is chilled yet. This is supposed to go to room temperature. No, it's still warm on the bottom. Okay. Well, because I'm whipping the whipping cream, and I've got to show them. I guess I could do that without doing the egg whites. Let me stir this up a bit. This is the gelatin whipping cream mixture. I made it just now. This is the mixture. I just mixed it on the stove. And if you look down here at the Easter nest tort, it says filling. This is the filling. And I mixed the cornstarch, sugar, and the milk and cooked it. And then I added it with the egg yolks. And then we had softened gelatin. And we mixed the gelatin in with this, and then we mixed the chocolate in with this. And then we're supposed to cool this to room temperature. Well, it was pretty hot, so I put it in the freezer so we can get this done. And then we're going to mix it with whipped cream. And no, it's still warm. So I need to wash my hands off too. So let me get my hands washed with soap and get some gloves.
Let me have these out, because these are clean to dry. That's when you get soap.
Okay, let me get my gloves on. Okay, just to figure out how to use Okay, so I'm going to put this back in the freezer so it'll cool. Meanwhile, I'm doing my whipped cream, and that makes a lot of noise, but I've got to have the whipped cream. So can I whip that really quick and get that done, and then we'll go on from there. But it really does make a lot of noise. Sorry about that. But let me get this in so it's chilling so you can see this torte. Okay. Here we go. I can't do it fast because I don't have a deep enough bowl. I'm a mess. Ah! Okay. We're trying to do all of the whipped cream at once. For the pavlovas, excuse me. Just had that eye check today too. For the pavlovas. Now, pavlova, I might as well tell you what that is. This is egg whites. And you beat your egg whites. And I'm trying to think. And then what I did is I would take mounds of I mixed it with cream of tartar. Do I need to do this for you? Do I need to beat up the egg whites to show you how to do this? You look kind of the man in the pinkish thing. Okay. You take gobs of your egg whites that's been mixed with cream of tartar and vanilla and sugar till it's really thick and it makes peaks. Then you take a glob like that, and then you take a spoon and you just swirl it around in the glob, so it's supposed to make kind of a hole in it, but it really didn't. And then they puff up. You put it in a 275-degree oven for about 40 minutes. Then you turn the oven off, and you just leave them there. Now, I made a square one so that we could do everything tonight in squares. I did everything in squares except for when we put the bunny together and when we put the chocolate mousse, what do you call it? The Easter nest torte. I'm getting... So anyway, in Australia and New Zealand, they would make these, and then you make your whipped cream, and then they would put the whipped cream, sweetened whipped cream on top, and then they put the fresh fruit on top. Now this recipe that you have here, it's this corner one up here, they used lemon curd. But since we're doing this lemon cake over here, I thought, I'm not doing two lemon things. And I just as soon make it pavlova, which is with the whipped cream. It was named after the famous ballet dancer, Pavlova. It was made specially for her when she came to dance the ballet of whatever it was, I don't know which ballet it was, when she went to Australia. And that's how it came to be. Okay? I should have put that in there, and that would be good. So as soon as this is whipped, we're going to take half of it out and mix with that gelatin mixture. Hopefully that'll be cooled down. The other half we will sweeten, and put on here. Okay, I will also fill these. I'll put the fresh fruit on it, and I'm going to give one of these, 4 of these away. Everyone will probably win a door prize tonight. I mean, there's couples here, so everyone's supposed to win something. So somebody will be taking, send those home. But we'll have a large piece of this tonight. Doggone. Yes, and since you all came, Richard gets several extra coupons. You'll all get 2 coupons tonight instead of 1, because I'm feeling very generous that you braved the rain. Is it thick at all?
Well, that's what I want to see.
No, not really.
Not
It's getting,
quite. It's coming,
It is coming. Yeah, but it needs.
but it's not there yet.
Can we do it clear to the top if you put that? I don't want that to get wound up in there, though. Okay, so I have to wait for that to go. So let's go on to the next thing.
Can you show us how to cut the bunny cake?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, now, today I made 2 rounds. Here, let me put these up. These are light as a feather. I make a dessert called cherry berries on a cloud. That is to die for. And you have to make that you make this a night in advance, and then you put that in the morning, all the whipped cream and all the good stuff. And then you serve it that night. But it is so good. So I'm really used to doing meringues, and it's really fun to work with. Okay, I made a regular white cake. And as you can see, I unfortunately put one of the pans over the top because I needed to cool, and this was sticking up further than I thought it was. But we're going to make the bunny cake, and I have already, but I want to make the frosting part first. So to do that, you use whipped topping and pudding. And it's so simple to make this.
Your cream's done.
It's done? It is done. Okay. So half of it, is this cooled and chilled yet, do you think? Okay. Let's get this. Yeah, this is. Okay, let's put it in a bowl. Another bowl. Put it in here. We're going to put this and half of the whipped cream. Here, you want to see this. So I'm going to pour this in here. Is there a spoon? Thank you. Give me that. Okay. And we're going to add half the whipped cream to this. Because I've made all of these things I've made in 9x13 pans for ease in serving tonight. So you're seeing them individually, and then you're also going to see, get it. So why don't I just slice this right in 2? And then we need to add sugar to this. Do you want to get some sugar and add?
Powdered sugar or just granulated sugar?
Oh, powdered sugar. That's fine. I don't know about you.
Just put her up there in front to start with.
I know. We've been missing.
We have Mr. Bill.
We have missed her. She's been gone 3 weeks. And so Mary tried to take her place and being mouthy. It didn't do as...
Mary is very quiet.
Anyway, so here we go. And then I'll put this back in the refrigerator. I'm going to put it back in the freezer. And then I'll put this whole thing together. This will be, so it'll thicken up. Now, does everybody understand how to make this filling? Is anybody lost? Okay, I made it like a pudding and add gelatin and the chocolate, and then I put it in the freezer to chill. Once it just got to room temperature or cool, then we whip the cream, and now I'm folding in the whipped cream into this chocolate mixture. This is the mousse. This is the mousse, and it is so decadent. You saw how much cream. We used two, yes,
Isn't the difference between using whipped cream and whipped topping in that recipe?
in this. I think everything's better with whipped cream, but the next recipe just calls whipped top for whipped topping. And that's all it needs. That is fast. I have, you weren't here last night when I told about that recipe, but my mother had made it, and I just remembered it. So I looked it up, and I made it a couple of Sundays ago. We had a lot of family there. Well, I thought everyone was going to lick their plates, their fingers. There was not a smidge left. And let's put this back in here. And, okay.
Are you out of vanilla?
I don't think so. There it is. Just go through everything. Pull it
I
out.
did.
See, and there's nothing there. Vanilla.
Oh, I didn't expect it to be like that.
Well, it's because the lid came off. Oh, I've got chocolate on there. I rinsed my hands off. Okay, so I'm going to make this now. When I make cherry berries on a cloud, it's a big difference between using whipped cream and whipped topping. And if you want to make this next recipe with whipped cream instead, that's okay. It's okay. So what I'm going to do now is make a package. I've made a plain white cake. I did not use yellow cake. I used a plain white cake. I made it, and here it is. I made another one in a 9x13 pan because that's the way I serve it when I'm serving a lot of people. But I wanted you guys to all have a rabbit tonight because I thought it was important that you have a bunny. Do you guys have kids back there? No? Not yet. Oh, but you want to have, huh? Oh, I was going to say, well, I didn't even know if you were married. I mean, you know. So,
I used to make this cake all the time when my kids were little, sponge cakes, they love it.
oh, yeah.
That's what they do.
Oop. Okay, you use one package and you only use, or do I use two? What does it say? It's the lemon poke cake.
One package.
Yeah, and then 1 cup of milk. Is that correct? I can't hear you.
1 cup cold milk.
Okay, 1 cup of cold milk.
6-ounce package you use.
What?
Is it a 3-ounce or a 6-ounce package?
This is a 3 ounce.
It says 2 packages of 3 ounces.
Is that Jell-O?
Oh, okay. 1 package or 2 packages.
Okay, this is for the pudding. Okay, my granddaughter loved this. And so she decides, didn't I tell you the story last week? My granddaughter decides she wants to make this. And so I give her the recipe, and she calls me up. She says, Nan, this Jell-O is so thick. I said, no, it's supposed to be runny. It should be like water. No, it's just so thick. I said, well, then add another cup of water. I said, did you use a large package or a small package? Oh, I used a large package. I said, okay, you add another cup of water. Oh, it calls me back. It's still so thick. I said, okay, honey, you're supposed to take